the morning, certainly without having done a bit of movement first, is not very comfortable, and the meditation itself falters because of that. So we're going to do a little bit of movement, really tap into movement and breath becoming one, and then we're going to settle into a meditation, which I know can sometimes feel a little bit daunting. Meditation is one of those things that we're told we should do, but we perhaps don't know how to. So I hope in this sort of 30-minute practice I can give you some really simple tools to make meditation feel like a daily accessible practice, something that you can just come to and feel comfortable doing. So because of that, we're going to start in child's pose. So sweep your feet round to one side, bring a nice width between your knees, keep your big toes nice and close together, and just slide those hands out and away as you bow your head all the way down. And taking a good few deep breaths. Allowing the depth of your breath to lengthen not just on the inhale, not just on the exhale, but also lengthen those pause moments in between. If you can hold that pause moment at the top of your inhale and at the bottom of your exhale. And then turning your head to the left, we're going to sweep the left arm out and round, down by the outside of that left leg. Turning the palm up to the sky. Keep your right fingertips reaching high and your left fingertips nice and soft and relaxed. And just begin to feel these two very distinct feelings in the body as that left elbow and shoulder relax into the floor. Start to feel that depth of release through one side and that long extension through the other. And then taking a deep breath in as you lift that left hand, sweep it all the way back up over your head, and then cross your left wrist over the top of your right. So you end up ever so slightly sweeping to the other side. Bowing the head in between the upper arms. Now breathe into the depths of that left side body as it stretches over. And feeling that awakening all the way down that side of the body. Allowing the breath to be deeper. Allowing all of the muscles in that area to expand and release. And taking an inhale as you slide that left hand all the way back to center. Take a deep breath in, rising up. Keep the legs in that position, but just let those hips float forwards, gently open through the chest, and then guide those hips all the way back. Do that twice more, just refresh the position of your legs. You know I love a good sigh, so feel free to let a good sigh out. Settling down, back into child's pose. And then sweeping that right arm down beside the right leg. Let the shoulder, the elbow really soften and release completely into the floor beside you, while that left arm continues to lengthen up and out. And there's something really nice to feel the duality in the body. One side of the body extending, the other releasing. How even the breath can feel completely different as it moves through both hemispheres of the body. And take a deep breath in as you sweep and take that right wrist and overlap it over the left. as you drop your head into that gap between your upper arms. Find a depth of breath as now that right side of the body really begins to extend, really begins to lengthen and awaken. And inhaling as you lift just enough to sweep that right hand all the way back. And instead of lifting the body forwards, we're going to walk the body back and bring those knees together. Now, if you're not comfortable kneeling, just sit down onto your sit bones and do all of the movements that we're going to do in this position on your seat, in a seated position. There we go, got there. So reaching the hands down towards the knees, take an inhale to scoop that chest through, forwards and up, relaxing and softening those shoulders back and down, and then really hug through the belly as the spine curves to the wall behind you and your chin drops down towards your chest. Just feeling that cat-cow motion twice more, and especially if you are kneeling, you can really get your pelvis involved, really scooping and lifting that tail up behind you as you lift the heart, and then as you hug through the belly, really squeeze those butt cheeks and tuck your seat underneath you. As you inhale, rising all the way up, and we're going to circle the left arm all the way up towards the sky. Sweep your right hand across to your left thigh. So you want to find a twist, peeking around and maybe opening that left arm out behind you. Shoulder height can feel good, but I also think slightly higher. It's a little more kind on your shoulder. So just check in with that shoulder. You could also go a little bit lower. That brings it more into the upper back, the space between your shoulder blades. So have a play with that arm. How high, how low does it wish to go, so that you can find the appropriate sensation in your body to soften, to settle, to feel comfortable. And bringing that left hand, the back of it, to your lower back and just roll through that shoulder a couple of times. Just almost massaging with the movement. I also like to lean my head away from a rolling shoulder sometimes, just so that the ripple effect of that movement can come up into the neck and the head. And circling that left arm all the way back up, then lift the right hand up over the head, and we're going to go the other way. So start to twist, bring that left hand across to your right knee, and as you twist, first and foremost, open through that chest. So let the twist very much happen through the body before the arm then gets involved. Again, high or low on a diagonal or out behind you at shoulder height. There's so many different sensations. I find high tends to be very focused into the shoulder. At shoulder height tends to be around the back of the shoulder, and lower tends to drop more into the upper middle back connection point. So see which part of the body reaps the benefits from this shape as you move the arm. And then again, bring the back of that right hand to your lower back and start to circle through that shoulder. Again, feel free to lean your head away from your rolling shoulder. And then taking a deep breath in as you circle that right arm all the way up and over. We're going to slide the hands forwards. If you're seated, just sweep your feet round, coming up to tuck the toes and lift into your downward facing dog. As always with our first down dog, move in any way that makes you feel more comfortable, more connected. Really let some intuitive movement come into your body, a hip sway, a head shake, a spine ripple. Then just walk through the feet and just follow those same movement patterns you always do. Mix it up a little. And then taking a deep breath in as you flow forwards to plank. Gently let those knees come down and lower the rest of the body as if you're resisting gravity, softening and tapping that forehead down. Okay. When we practice asana, when we practice poses, there are always these little moments of reverence, of collecting ourselves. And tapping the forehead down is exactly one of those. This moment of bowing as low as we can to the earth in reverence. Thank you for holding me up. Then take an inhale as you roll those shoulders back and down and just gently press the floor away as you lift through the head and the heart. Then lifting a little bit higher, use those knees to guide you all the way up and back. Bring the big toes together, the knees wide, and settle back into child's pose once again. You're just starting to feel that deeper connection to every part of your being. And as you inhale, lifting all the way back to your kneeling position, we're going to sweep the knees and feet round to the same side. Oh, got a bit of parsley on my floor. How nice. There we go. As you come to your seated position, grab a cushion, a pillow, anything nearby that can just prop your seated position up a little. So you're not sat with the knees creeping ever closer in towards your side body. Your hips are elevated so that the hips are higher than the knees and they can just slope down and away. So you're going to fidget and find a comfortable position. I do find a lot of people tend to condemn fidgeting, but I'm a big fan of a mindful fidget. Not just fidgeting for fidgeting's sake, but really going, now, how can I be more comfortable here? And it might mean that you don't sit cross-legged. It might mean that you actually sweep one foot round to your side and keep the other foot in front of you. Mermaid legs, if you will. It might mean that you have one leg in front of you and the other leg stretched out to the side. As we move through the final half of our practice, really do feel that you can explore lots of different ways of sitting. Okay, I'm showing you all with one leg, but these are all options that we can take. If the hips don't feel great, if we feel like we're moving into cramp territory with the thigh, the calf, the ankle, if this ankle bone is pressing onto something on the floor that doesn't feel good, get a little bit of a blanket and tuck it underneath. Comfort is key. And if we're not comfortable in meditation, then the meditation itself is not going to be effective, because all we're going to be thinking about is how that bit of the body is causing a little bit of trouble. So with that, take a deep breath in, breathing length up through the spine, and soften the slope of the shoulders. I'm going to practice Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. So if you want to bring your right hand up in front of your face, I'm a big fan of using the index and middle fingers and squeezing them together, then pressing the pads of those fingertips to the center of the brows. And as you do that, ever so slightly slide up. Now when we do this, we create this openness at the very top of our nose bridge, which means we can take slightly longer, deeper breaths because we've created more space. So really do feel free to slide up. If you go actually onto the forehead, we start to lose it, so do keep it between the brows. You've then got your thumb, which can hopefully and comfortably, I'm just going to take those fingers away so you can see, block your right nostril. And then either your ring or little finger can hopefully comfortably block your left nostril. And Nadi Shodhana means alternate nostril breathing. So we are blocking each side of the nose as we move through this. So we're going to start by blocking that left side of the nose and inhaling through the right side. Maybe 4 counts. And then block that right side, open the left and exhale. Now keep that left side open, inhale. Close the left, open the right and exhale. And that's one full round. So 2 breaths is 1 round. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. So you always inhale through the nostril you just exhaled from. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. So we're going to do 5 more rounds. That's 10 more breaths. So inhaling, and let this really be at your own pace. Don't worry too much about keeping up with me or trying to do the longest possible breath. The beauty in this pranayama is the switch. So even if it's a shorter breath, but a really mindful switch across from one side to the other side, great. You will have noticed by now that one side of your nose is more open than the other. That's not only normal, it's natural. Every 90 minutes or so, this switch occurs in our body. And it's so that we can access the different qualities of our being. A lot of the time this can get simplified to left side creative, right side logical. It's a little more deep than that, but we get the gist. So we'll just do one more full round. Wherever you are, just keeping that smoothness of breath. And you want your final exhale to come out and down through the right side of your nose. And letting that right hand relax. Maybe just giving the shoulder a little bit of a roll. Close your eyes and breathe through both sides of your nose, and hopefully you'll notice quite a distinct difference. A distinct difference in the quality of your breath. A distinct difference in how your breathing makes you feel. And it's this more open, longer, natural, flowing breath that we're going to use to guide us through a meditation. So taking a moment to mindfully fidget. Feel free to swap your feet around, to stretch one leg out or swoop it beside you. Really make the adjustments that you need to feel truly comfortable. And knowing that that place, in that place, you can breathe length through the spine and soften the slope of your shoulders. We're going to turn the palms down onto the thighs, and whether they're closer to the knees or up near the hips, I don't mind. Just let the arms relax. When we turn the palms down, we're actively tuning into our inner landscape, tuning into the inner workings of our being. Closing the eyes does this too, choosing not to be outwardly focused and instead be more inwardly focused. So even if it's not comfortable to fully close the eyes, just let the gaze soften towards the earth. And keep that lovely flow of effortless, smooth breaths coming in and out through the nose. Know that you can change and adjust your seat as and when you need to. Prioritizing comfort in the body, So we're able to explore our inner world. And when we meditate, it's often the chattering of the mind that we feel drawn to. Even when our body is almost 100% still, the mind may not be. And all I'd like you to do today is simply notice. Notice the thoughts you have without attaching to them. And instead of letting each thought barrel straight into the next, I'd like you to breathe a little pocket of space from the end of one thought to the beginning of the next. In the same way, we linger in that pause at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. Allow those quiet pauses to slot themselves in neatly in between your thoughts. And let those moments be dedicated to anchoring your awareness with the breath. So feeling that rise of the inhale, that small pause, that long, smooth exhale, and again another pause. And maybe a thought comes to mind. Again, this isn't only normal, it's natural, it's the way our brains are wired. But that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy those pause moments in between. So linger in those pause moments, breathing as consciously as you can for the next few minutes. Allow your awareness to drift to the surface, keeping your eyes closed or your focus down. Just feel your breathing deepen once more. Find any intuitive, small, smooth and subtle movements in your body that allow you to reawaken. Again, very much keeping that awareness inwardly by placing the palms on different parts of the body, keeping the eyes closed. And the moment you're ready, bring your hands together and rub them together. Feel that building warmth in your palms. And then place the pockets of your palms around the sockets of your eyes. Feeling that extra layer of dark protection around your eyes. Then blinking your eyes open into the darkness of the palms and gently letting those hands peel away slowly, letting the light of the day back in as you bring the palms together and lower them to heart center. Closing our practice as always with a mantra. And today it's going to be an Om, which is essentially just an audible breath. If you want to join me, please feel free to. May there be plenty more pockets of peace throughout your day. Om Shanti.